So this may not be the Gerrit Cole news that we are all waiting for. Anthony Rendon's not off the market, but there have been some moves that could actually lead to maybe Gerrit Cole or Anthony Rendon signings. Could be leading to other stuff. We saw Didi Gregorius sign a one-year deal with the Philadelphia Phillies. We saw Kevin Gausman sign a deal with the San Francisco Giants. And then we saw the Los Angeles Angels and the San Francisco Giants make a trade. Zack, Cozart, Will Wilson, who was their first-round pick last year, going to the Giants in exchange for cash and a player to be named later. So we're going to go over all the moves that we've seen from the winter meetings, starting from yesterday all the way to today. If you guys do enjoy the video and you want to see more of this kind of content, make sure to leave a like. That's the best way to show your support. Subscribe if you're new and you enjoy the content. If you love baseball, click that sub button, join the team. Remember to get in the comment section down below. I love hearing what you guys have to say about all these moves. Do you think Didi to the Phillies was a good move? Do you like the Kevin Gausman deal? Do you like the trade with the Angels? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say down below. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links in the description. I'm always talking baseball over there. That's where you get my immediate reaction on things. So let's start off by talking about probably the least significant move here, and that's going to be the Kevin Gausman deal to the San Francisco Giants. He signed a one-year deal worth $9 million with the San Francisco Giants for the 2020 season. This was, of course, after being non-tendered by the Cincinnati Reds, and he was actually featured in my video about players who were non-tendered that could actually make some sort of an impact for your team in 2020. I don't think Kevin Gausman's going to be a Cy Young Award winner. I don't think Kevin Gausman makes the Giants even a remotely close to competitive team yet. They still have a lot of issues, but I think Kevin Gausman can be a decent pitcher for them. He's going to be a back of the rotation kind of guy. Right now, they don't have Madison Bumgarner. They really don't have great pitching, so at least they have someone in Kevin Gausman who has pitched in the major leagues before, has a track record, has a little bit of innings underneath him. And at $9 million a year, it's very, very cheap. There are incentives that are laced inside the contract, so if he makes more starts, he makes more money. According to Joel Sherman, he has the chance to make $250,000 at 18, 22, 26, and 30 starts each, so he has the potential to make $1 million bonus based on how many starts he makes this season, which I can see him, if he's healthy, easily making 30 starts. Why not, right? For the Giants, what's really important is what version of Kevin Gausman are they getting? Are they getting the version where he was with the Braves and he was absolutely terrible, where they're like, yeah, just get out of here, we don't want you anymore? Or is he going to be getting the Cincinnati Reds, Baltimore Orioles version more of Kevin Gausman, where his ERA is hovering right around 4, maybe in the 3s, striking out a lot more batters, walking less, giving up less hits, giving up less home runs, just genuinely being a better pitcher? That is yet to be seen. I don't necessarily think Kevin Gausman is going to go necessarily to his best form, but he's in San Francisco. It's a pitcher's ballpark, even with them moving the fences in. He's pitched in Atlanta, Cincinnati, and Baltimore pretty much in his career. All three very hitter-friendly parks. It's definitely going to help him to be in San Francisco, but overall, like I said, this move just isn't something that's making the Giants go from a pretender to a contender, or even necessarily competitive. Step in the right direction, but they still need a lot of help with that team. Which then leads me to the next move that also involves the San Francisco Giants and the Los Angeles Angels. This time it was a trade in which the Los Angeles Angels traded Zack, Cozart, and Will Wilson to the San Francisco Giants in exchange for cash and a player to be named later. So this has big moves. Now for the Giants, this is actually not a terrible trade. Initially, I didn't see that Will Wilson was a part of it. I completely glanced over it and was like, they're trading for Zack, Cozart? Why? But Will Wilson, it's a pretty good pickup for them. So in case you guys are unfamiliar with prospects and what their rankings are, Will Wilson was the first round pick in 2019 by the Los Angeles Angels. He was their 4th overall prospect in their system. Now their system is not particularly strong, but he was a first round pick. Think about if your team just drafted someone last year and used him to get rid of a bad contract. Like, it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense here. They probably could have got rid of Zack, Cozart in a different way, but this is the way the Angels are going. I'll talk about what it means because it definitely does mean something big for them. But for the Giants, you got to be happy you're getting Will Wilson, who's a shortstop prospect. He was a first round pick last year, like I just said. In the 50 games he played last year in the minors, he played pretty well. His number across the board as a prospect are kind of just like average, or like 50s and 40s, but that was only his first year in minor league baseball. Of course, we know how players can grow over time. He played at NC State. I mean, he was a first round pick, like 15th overall. The guy has to have some sort of talent. And for the Giants, you're trading cash and a player to be named later. It's pretty much low risk. The reason that they get Will Wilson is because of Zack, Cozart, because he's going to cost you some money. Doesn't really fit anywhere with that Giants team, and when he has been playing the last couple seasons, he's been bad. Like, since that season in Cincinnati, Cozart has been a completely different player, went kind of back to what he used to be, which was just not very impressive. Cozart becomes a free agent at the end of the 2020 season, so they only have him from 1 year. He's basically a rental. He's making a little over $12 million a season, which is a lot for a guy who's only played, what, 96 games with the Angels in the last 2 years, and his numbers were terrible. 5 homers, 15 doubles, 2 triples, and 25 RBIs, a 190 batting average with a 261 on base, 296 slugging, and 557 OPS. Those are some horrible, horrible numbers. And he's kind of a man without a position right now. You've got Dubon at second base. You've got Crawford at shortstop. You got Longoria at third. Are you going to move Longoria to first? Maybe get rid of Brandon Belt, play Cozart at third. I'm guessing that Cozart, they're just probably going to end up eating this, and they're not really going to worry about where he plays, even if he does play. Like, maybe they just cut him. I'm not sure. But the reason that they made this trade from the Giants' perspective is to get Will Wilson. That's why they did it. For the Angels, it's very obvious what they're doing. Yes, they're giving up Will Wilson, who's going to be one of their top prospects in their organization, their first-round pick from last year, but they free up that $12 million that Zack Cozart is going to be getting paid this next season, which means they now have $12 million more to throw at Gerrit Cole or to throw at Anthony Rendon in a contract that they can offer him. Because the Angels don't have a third baseman. We know that they definitely need pitching help. They now have freed up a little bit more money, plus the cash that they're getting from the Giants, to go spend on a big name guy like Anthony Rendon or Gerrit Cole, because Mike Trout needs all the help that he possibly can get for that Angels team to make the playoffs. Because right now, that roster that they currently have, the roster that they had last year, is just not even close to a playoff contender. You get a guy like Gerrit Cole, you get a guy like Anthony Rendon, stuff starts to change a little bit. We've seen the Angels spend in the past before. Moreno, their owner, has come out and said they are going to spend this offseason. This trade just screams like, we're going for Anthony Rendon, we're going for Gerrit Cole, we're freeing up more money, as much money as we possibly can. Keep an eye out for the Angels. We've heard about them with the Cole rumors. Maybe they're in on Rendon now too. The only reason that this trade really wouldn't be good for the Angels right now is, one, they gave up a top prospect to their organization to dump salary, and two, if they don't get either of these guys, you gave up a top prospect to dump salary for pretty much nothing. Cozart was a bad contract, but didn't need to be moved that badly. It's a risk. It's definitely a risk, but if the Angels feel like this $12 million is the difference between them losing out on Rendon and Cole or winning them and getting them on their team, you gotta make the move every single time. I have no problem with it. I think the Giants are probably the winners in this right now, but that's yet to be seen. If the Angels get Rendon or Cole, great move. And then the move that you guys have probably all waited for, because I put in the title, but I've been talking about the Phillies a lot. I need to tease you a little bit and keep it towards the end. Let's talk about the Didi Gregorius signing, the new shortstop for the Philadelphia Phillies, on a 1-year, $14 million deal. Initial reaction is, really? Like, the Phillies, they keep getting better. Why are they getting better? Why is this team right here not making any moves? Everybody in the division has gotten better this offseason, and I feel like the Mets are pretty much just flatlining right now. They're like, hey, we lost Zack Wheeler to a division rival. They got better, but who cares? Let's keep waiting for the right move, right? But the Phillies are going out. They're being aggressive. A 1-year, $14 million deal is a no-brainer for Didi Gregorius. I'm not a huge Didi fan, but at 1 year, there's literally no risk. The risk would be that this $14 million can't be spent somewhere else. But for the Phillies, they need another left-handed power bat badly. That lineup is dominated by right-handed hitters. Didi can be that left-handed power bat, especially in Philadelphia. It is a bandbox of a park. Besides Yankee Stadium, this is going to be one of the better fits for him because of how he plays. It makes sense for Didi as well, signing a 1-year contract. He wants to prove himself that, hey, I should get multiple years. You guys only saw me play like 90, 80 games last season due to injury. Let me come back, play a full season, kind of like Josh Donaldson did with the Braves this past season. I'm going to play a full season. I'm going to do well. I'm going to get paid next year. This now means, is Gene Segura out? Are they moving Gene Segura to second base? There's a lot of things to talk about there. Personally, I would move Gene Segura to second base. I don't know what the market for him would really be. And then if you do trade him, who are you going to then get to play second base? They have a lot of options to do. This is a very good problem for the Phillies to have. And as a Mets fan, I absolutely hate it. I'm going to have to watch Didi Gregorius play against the Mets like 20 times this year. I know he's not an MVP kind of player, but he is a very talented shortstop, can hit for some power. I can just see him being super annoying in the National League East all year long. It's a decent move. It really is, because if they get Didi at the prime like he was with the Yankees, for $14 million a year, that's kind of a steal. If you get the Didi from last year, you're overpaying a little bit, but again, it's still only 1 year. There is almost no risk in this move whatsoever. Plus, he's reunited with Joe Girardi, which was his guy when he was with the Yankees. So let's go over Didi's numbers real quick, and let's see what you can kind of expect for him in 2020. In 2019, he only played in 82 games, hitting 16 homers, 14 doubles, and 2 triples to give him 61 RBIs, 238 average with a 276 on base, 441 slugging, and a 718 OPS. Definitely some of the lower numbers of his career. But if you look at his numbers from 2016 to 2018, Didi was a much better player. Hit 72 homers and 82 doubles in that time, 277 average, 319 on base, 472 slugging, and OPS at 791. So at the plate, he can definitely be an above average shortstop offensively, and defensively, he's not going to be winning you gold gloves. He's not going to be an Andrelton Simmons type guy out there making these spectacular plays, but he is definitely above average, and now having a year coming off that Tommy John surgery, he's going to be even more healthy. He's going to be even more comfortable back at shortstop. I think this is a good move by the Phillies. Like, I can't find anything wrong with this deal whatsoever. 1 year, $14 million. I can't stress it enough, but yes, it's a lot of money. $14 million for 1 year for a guy who was pretty terrible in 2019, but he was coming off an injury, and it's a 1 year deal. You are not risking anything. You're not in a long-term contract. You're not getting this guy when he's like 36 years old. He's going to be 30 next year. I have no problem with what the Phillies have been doing. In fact, I commend them for spending the money like they have this offseason. They knew what their issues were from 2019, and they are addressing them immediately. They got rid of Gabe Kapler, got a legitimate manager in Joe Girardi. They needed more pitching help. They got Zack Wheeler. They had a hole up the middle because they got rid of Cesar Hernandez now, and Junior Segura is just not really your best option at shortstop. They add Didi Gregorius, put him at short, Segura goes to second maybe. Like, the Phillies are out here making moves, and it is infuriating because, like I said, everyone in the division is getting better, and the Mets are just like, we're good. Oh man, the Phillies, man. Fourth place Phillies is looking like it's gonna be tougher and tougher as the season goes on. Oh my goodness. And I don't think they're done yet. They're gonna go get some bullpen arms, maybe another outfielder. Listen, the Phillies have shown that they want to spend money. This team could be scary. Didi Gregorius is just another piece of that puzzle that makes them a little bit better. I know on the West Coast it's only like 3 o'clock, so there's definitely gonna be stuff that's probably still coming up as the night goes on. Part of the problem with having it on the West Coast is like, oh, it's gonna be like 9 o'clock and I'm not gonna release a video at that time, but news could come out. Although if Garrett Cole signs, I'll tell you right now, the video's coming out ASAP. But for today, I think that's probably gonna be the big news that we hear. I can't imagine that we're gonna see anything else coming today, but I've said that in the past and we've seen huge stuff happen before. So keep an eye out, you know, you subscribe to the channel. That way you don't miss out when I do upload. You can even click that bell. It notifies you when I upload it. So once the news breaks, you know what's going on. Remember to leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it. That's the best way to show your support. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about the trades, the signings down in the comment section below. Give me your thoughts and opinions. And that's going to wrap up today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. You know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video right here as well as this is my most recent upload. So click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you so much for watching today's video and I'll catch you all tomorrow for another video.